Hi there, I'm Karen Marie, professional psychic, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, September 5th, 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like it, share it, and send it out to your friends, right? Comment, all that stuff. So today I'm going to talk about the transits for the week, particularly highlighting the new moon tomorrow, which will be exact at 7:51 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Austin. So that's Monday the 6th. So change your time for wherever you are. And there's a whole lot of other aspects that are going on tomorrow that I will dive into. Look at the transits for the week. And then I will move into mini readings for all 12 signs. And this is for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign, or if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a particular sign. So I will put the time stamps below so that you can find your signs and listen to those. And I'll also put the link to my website and how to contact me if you would like a private session with me. All right, so without any further ado, I am going to start sharing my screen. And here we go. I have the United States chart pulled up. I like to use that as my frame of reference here. That's what is going on here in the middle. And then around the outside in green here are the current transits. So right now we have the sun at 13 degrees of Virgo. So it has been going through Virgo now for a couple weeks, and I don't know about you. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. It has felt like Mercury retrograde. I've had people contact me. Is Mercury retrograde? No, not yet. It will be at the end of the month. Mercury goes retrograde on the 27th of September, so heads up. And tomorrow, Mercury enters its shadow zone. What does shadow zone mean? It means it's moving into the area it will retrograde back to, right? So right now Mercury's at 9 degrees. Tomorrow it will go to 10, which is, and it'll go all the way up here to 25 degrees and then turn around and go all the way back to 10. So it will be in Libra till November. So get comfortable with Mercury being in Libra. And what is that going to mean? A lot of dialogue, a lot of conversations, particularly Libra rules relationships. It's ruled by Venus. And so a lot to do, a lot of conversations about relationships. Libra's also about fairness and justice. There's a whole lot of conversations going down about fairness and justice, particularly in this state of Texas with recent legislation that has just passed. That's all that I can hear anybody talking about. So, but Virgo is ruled by Mercury, right? So right now we have the moon has just gone into Virgo. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's at 1 degree. And the sun, like I said, is at 13. And then we have Mars here at 24. So it's in the last degrees here. So I have felt this sort of Mercury retrograde energy ever since the sun entered into Virgo. It seemed to happen almost immediately. Not only that, we've got the north node at 5 degrees of Gemini, which means the south node is at 5 degrees of Sag. Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. So there's another strong aspect here that's bringing up the mercurial energy of having us be in our heads, right? So anytime a planet goes through a sign that's ruled by Mercury, we also have Ceres and Black Lilith here, kind of sandwiching the north node. So anytime we have planets or asteroids in the sign that's ruled by Mercury, we're going to feel kind of inclined to jump up in our head, maybe a little bit too much. So that's what I've really been seeing. Also, this past week, we had Mars exactly opposite Neptune here in the skies. And so it just felt like slug and slow moving energy. I don't know if you've been feeling just kind of sluggish and kind of out of it. Neptune and Pisces all by itself, retrograde can do that for you, but particularly when we have Mars, the planet taking action, moving forward, when it's opposite Neptune in the skies, we can really feel like we're moving through a fog. And so it's still opposite, 24 degrees is still opposite. Anything within 7 degrees is considered conjunct or enter into an aspect, the closer it is, or if it's exact like it was this last week, you can really feel it super strong. But we're still feeling it 2 degrees off this opposition. Neptune's down here at 22 degrees. So it can still feel like moving through cement or moving through a fog or just not being able to get very clear right now. Virgo represents our health is one of the things that is highlighted when we have planets in Virgo. Attention to detail is a Virgo thing. So we may want to reorganize or get organized. Or again, if this Neptune is influencing, you may know you need to get organized and you're just not feeling it, or you can't get the clear thinking enough to get organized. Virgo also is the hands. And so even doing things with our hands, whether that's cooking or cleaning or gardening or needlecraft or playing instruments or anything that you're using your hands for, are highlighted when we have planets in Virgo. So that kind of energy has been activated. I've really been seeing it personally in terms of an attention to my health. I just changed up my whole health and fitness routine when the sun moved into Virgo. I wasn't even completely aware that I was starting that in complete rhythm, but I was. So you may too have felt called to clean up your diet, take better care of your health. That's super common when these planets, especially the sun, which highlights things, and the moon, which illuminates things, moves through Virgo. So tomorrow, like I said, we'll have the new moon, which means the sun and the moon are together in the skies. It's a wonderful time for planting seeds, starting new things, initiating new projects. Anytime there's a new moon, that is true. When we have a new moon in Virgo, and it'll be 1438, so 14 to 15 degrees. So if you have any planets at 14 or 15 degrees of Virgo, you will be feeling this extra strongly, depending on what planet you have there. But it's an initiating spark. It's a great time to envision, do a vision board, set an intention for what you want to begin, start something new, create new projects, that kind of thing. It's a great new beginning time. You will often find people showing up in your life. New beginnings can often be endings as well. So you might have things that come to a conclusion around the new moon, and then you're beginning something else new here with the new moon. So this new moon is super powerful because there's a lot of other aspects that are also, we like have all the major planets also in a powerful aspect on this day. So it just adds, each one of these things that I'm going to talk about adds an extra oomph or emphasis to it. So this is the most powerful new moon I've seen so far this year. So again, I said Mercury will be entering its shadow. It's over here in Libra. We'll have the sun and moon together. It will be exactly trining. Trining is a positive kiss. Uranus, which is over here at 14 degrees of Taurus. Uranus is the great awakener. It's one of the rulers of Aquarius. So if you think of Aquarians, one of the highlights of Aquarius people is you can't predict how they're going to act. It's an air sign. It's a think outside the box. It's doing things outside the box. Uranus is a very spiritual planet, but it can bring things in a very disconcerting, disruptive way. It can bring things in a positive way that can be, oh, I didn't expect that. When there's a trine, we're going to pull the positive aspects of this sign. So we can have sudden unexpected things that initiate new beginnings. With the sun and the moon are going to be over here, right? So the other thing that I've been seeing, Uranus takes 7 to 8 years to transit a sign. So it's almost halfway through its transit of Taurus. So it started a few summers ago. And Taurus represents the earth. And so Uranus has been doing what? Shaking up the earth. And I've been predicting for the last couple of years that when Uranus entered into Taurus, we would be having out of ordinary, sudden, unexpected earth changes and weather things. It has definitely been doing that, right? earthquakes, fires, floods, tornadoes, you name it. It's been happening in a bigger way than usual. Global warming, I do believe, is part of it. But Uranus over here in Taurus is actually contributing to this mess, and will continue. It'll just unfortunately even ratchet it up even more as it gets into later degrees. So we've just begun to see these um, earth changes, and they will be continuing. But the trine from Uranus to this is like, it brings like a zap, an extra energy. Uranus will knock things down, it'll bring curveballs, it may take things away from you that surprise, but it will always replace it with something better, right? So if you have something taken away or removed with a Uranus aspect, you can expect it to be replaced by something way better. So that's one of the beautiful. So you may have sudden unexpected bing, and what it could be related to your health. You could have sudden unexpected health news because of the Virgo energy here. Virgo is also about service to others. So you may have sudden unexpected someone come and help you out. That can be another way it can show up. There's a myriad of ways that these things can show up, but it's a positive kiss. So something disconcerting, if it feels initially disconcerting, you can trust that it's going to be a benefit. It can be just giving you a big zap, a big kiss, a big wake up call, lightning bolt of energy. It can give you more energy to do things with the Uranus energy. Okay, another aspect we have going on Monday is Mars here will be trining Pluto. Mars at 24 degrees, trining Pluto at 24 degrees. So Pluto is death and transformation. Mars is our ego, the energy we put into things, how we put things into motion. And so the god of war here, Mars, trining Pluto, again, this is a positive aspect. So it brings out the best, right? Best in transformation. You may just get that motivation, new beginning energy, right? To just go after something that's going to be completely transformative in your life. You may have someone come into your life that's transformative for you. You may have ideas that are transformative. You may just find yourself in this energy of transformation, the positive death. Death can be scary, but death always comes with rebirth of some, whether that's a literal death or a symbolic death. Usually with a positive trine, it's going to be more of a symbolic death, transformation, being able to transcend something, to know how to take energy and action towards something. So this is another positive kiss and making it a very powerful day. It can bring a tangible result because both of these are just powerful. And both Mars and Pluto are rulers of Scorpio. So there's a very scorpionic energy too. So there could be secrets being revealed tomorrow. Deep things revealed. You can have super psychic downloads also with these two planets in a trine, in a positive relationship with each other. So you can look out for that kind of thing. Also, we have Venus here at 25 degrees. She will be there tomorrow anyway. We'll be trining Jupiter at 25 degrees. This is another positive kiss, right? So even one of these trines can just make a powerful day and add an extra oomph to an already powerful new moon. But all these together are just, it should be an amazing day. I'm saying it just should be one of the best days of the year. Jupiter here expands things. It brings out your belief systems in a higher way. It just makes things larger. It can be a beneficent kiss by itself. It can bring good luck. So what is it bringing good luck to? Venus, your relationships, how you receive things. It could be money coming in a positive way. It's just a sweet aspect here. I'm really sensing, and Venus is already in her home sign of Libra, which is the sign of relationships. Venus represents relationships, so she's super at home here. So she's been here for a while. So there's been an extra focus on relationships. We've just had Mercury join the party here in Libra. So it's also then communication about relationships is going on. Another interesting thing here, Vesta here is 1 degree off of Venus. Vesta is an asteroid, and I see Vesta as a place where we sacrifice ourselves or have sacrificed ourselves for others in a past life. It's where we've sacrificed for ourselves for others, you know. And but since it's so close to Venus, there's calling up. Are you sacrificing yourself in your relationships? Are you sacrificing yourself when it comes to work and how you spend your money or how you're receiving things? It's a call to don't sacrifice yourself. You may be making new decisions where you're going, yeah, no, that's not going to work for me. In the past, I would have done that, but not now. So there's a healing around being the sacrificial lamb, as it were, that can happen with these planets so close to each other. Also going on, if that's not enough, and that's more, and there's more, there's a kite forming with Chiron. So Chiron here is at 11 degrees of Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. Where it shows up is where we're healing things, and Aries is where we're healing our Aries can be, hard-headed and fiery and impulsive, impatient, egotistical, self-important. So Chiron moving through Aries can shine the light on these areas of our lives. Are we doing these things? Are we being our air? Everyone has Aries in their chart because everybody has all 12 signs in their chart somewhere. But are we being impulsive? Are we needing to heal our sense of self-importance? Are we needing to heal anger? Anger is another thing that can show up with Aries. In the second decan, which is between 10 and 19 degrees, which is where it is now, it can be healing our relationships with others or wounding we've experienced from others. So there's a real theme here of healing old wounds, I'm sensing. So the kite is formed when this is the point of the kite is in a sextile. There's sextiling. The north node will be here on one side of it, and we have Saturn on the other side. So that's that makes up the kite. And then across the skies here, we'll have Mercury. So it's a pointing to our communication. It's pointing to healing communications. It's healing energy in relationships. Healing relationships can come in. This is what I'm seeing with this. So it's super rare that a new moon would also have trines involving Mars and Pluto, trines involving Venus and Jupiter, and this kite all forming in the same day. Super, super, super positive, powerful day of transformation, day of great communication in your relationships. It's just, I'm excited about tomorrow, really. It should just be an initiating spark and fabuloso on lots of levels. So also this week, we'll be having, by the end of the week, Venus will be moving into Scorpio, which is a completely different theme, right? This is where dark secrets can be revealed. And, Scorpio is the deep, dark waters. It's things, scorpions hide under the rocks, right? So it can represent things that have been hidden in relationships can be surfacing. That's not until the end of the week. But what's interesting is the moon will be going in to Scorpio right about the same time. And so there's going to be this switch of focus, super psychic. When we've got the moon in Scorpio, it's super psychic. Like I said, that's not till later this week because it's still got to traipse through all of Virgo and then all through Libra. As she's going through Libra midweek, it's going to be lots of focus on relationships, joining the party with Mercury and also Venus. So she'll cross over Venus this week and into Scorpio. So there's a kiss there. I just feel like this is a great week for relationships, great week for talking out stuff in relationships. It may be a great week week for realizing I don't want to be in this relationship. New relationships can come in. There's just all kinds of really good energy. Because if the relationships ends this week, it's for your highest good. That's what I feel, because there's so much positive energy around the relationship themes. So Venus and the moon go into Scorpio by the end of the week. Jupiter goes, it's retrograde. The outer planets are all retrograde right now. Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all retrograde, which is common for the outer planets. They do this two-step dance kind of forward and backwards. That's why it takes them so long to transit a sign. They move slow anyway. So it's not so uncommon that they're all retrograde at the same time. But when Mercury joins the party at the end of the month, we're really going to be feeling that. But right now, with the outer planets retrograde, it's really just, did you learn your lessons that we already kind of showed you? So we're not really learning new things when the outer planets are retrograde. We're going back over, we're reviewing things we already know, usually when the outer planets are retrograde. So Neptune backs up to 21 degrees this week. Jupiter goes to 24. The nodes will be moving to 4 degrees. So the nodes will be staying in Gemini and in Sag until like middle of January. And then we'll start another year and a half theme where we'll have the North Node in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio. And I'll talk more about that before we get there. Right now, in these, and the nodes move backwards. They're always retrograde, so they're moving backwards. And so with the kiss to Black Lilith here, we're really highlighting our fears, particularly fears we create in our mind. Our mind can just trip out. Ceres is here helping us nurture our mind, but we're really being asked to rethink things, think in a new, innovative way. Also, Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini is the twins. It's Jekyll Hyde energy. It's media. It's all the things that Mercury represents: transportation, communication, travel. And so these things have all been highlighted extra with the nodes in Gemini. I, for one, am ready for the nodes to shift. So next year will be a relief. We'll feel it, an energetic shift. Gemini and Taurus are completely different creatures. Sag and Scorpios are so different. So, but we're, these last few months here of the nodes being in Gemini and Sag are really, the North Node is teaching us to rethink things. The South Node's teaching us to let go of our beliefs, be open to new beliefs. So that's just how I'm kind of reading this. So powerful week ahead. Black Lilith will move to 6 degrees. So they're crossing over each other. Right now, Black Lilith is right there with the North Node. Yeah, there's just a powerful energy here. There's so many right now. Venus is at 24. Mars is at 24. Jupiter's at 25, gonna be going to 24. Pluto's at 24. Notice a theme here. Yeah, 2 is about feelings and 4 is about beliefs. And together it's about how we take action, how we move forward. So there's a strong emphasis on coming together, moving forward, feeling your feelings out fully. What do I feel? What is my intuition saying? Allowing your intuition to lead the way. I'm going to stop sharing here and talk a little bit about intuition. So I'm a firm believer that everyone has psychic abilities. That's my psyched up theme, that we all have intuition, just like we can all see, hear, taste, and touch. There's some people who are blind, deaf, right? Have no taste buds, especially after COVID. But the majority of people have all their senses, and the majority of people have intuition. I believe that our intuition, our intuitive voice, is the connection to our higher self, our divine self, your Christ self, your Buddha nature, whatever you want to call that piece of you that's part of your soul that continues on after your body is put down, right? So everything we accumulate in this world, we don't get to take with us. Any of the stuff, we get to accumulate knowledge and growth, personal growth, that we do get to take with us. Any expansion and evolvement we do as a soul, we get to take that with us. So how does your intuition operate, right? it operates everybody different. Some people are visual. They'll see spirit guides. They'll see auras around people and plants and animals and things. They'll see visual flashes. They'll have dreams that are very visual, right? Some people are feelers. They feel, they're empathic. They can feel what other people are feeling. They take things into their body. They just get strong, emotional things, very sensitive. Some people are telepathic. They can just know what other people are thinking, right? I'm glad I don't have that, just saying. There's too many funky thinking people out there to be tuned in. It's bad enough for me being an empath, feeling other people's feelings. That's one of the things that my psychic abilities show up. Now, I did not know I was psychic growing. People said, "Did you know you were psychic?" No, I didn't. I had deja vu things happening all the time. I had dreams that would show up as something that was happening either concurrently or would show up as true. Um, I was channeling without noticing. I didn't know I was. Out of my mouth would just come the most beautiful things, or I would just say the right things, and people go, "Oh my God, that's exactly what I needed to hear." But if I had to repeat myself, I wouldn't have been able to, because it wasn't coming from my brain, from my thoughts. It was something that was moving through me. And I started working on developing my abilities after many psychics told me how psychic I was. And I was like, okay, if I'm so psychic, then I should be able to access it and develop it. I stumbled into channeling, which means information just started pouring through me, along with goosebumps down my arms and on my face. It's like, oh, okay, there's something here higher than me that's dispensing information through me, using me as a channel. So the more I'm up in my head, the more I'm in my feeling body, the less clear I can be as a channel. So it's always important for me to do spiritual practices. I've been a practicing Buddhist for 37 years. I've had a spiritual practice. I chant in the morning and chant in the evening. I've also added meditation over time, in addition to chanting, to my spiritual groove. I have to raise myself up out of the collective, right? We all are here one on this planet. And if we don't do something to raise our life condition up out of the collective, we're going to go to the default of what the collective on the planet is feeling, which right now is a hell of a lot of fear. So if you're not doing something to raise your game, to bring yourself up out of the collective, you're struggling with fear and anxiety and depression right now, straight up, because so many of the planets are. The way to overcome that, I believe, first and foremost, is spiritual practices: chanting, meditating, taking a walk in nature, soaking in the tub, playing an instrument. All these things can lead you to a divine connection within yourself, right? So a lot of times we'll see our intuition show up in hindsight, right? Oh, I knew I shouldn't have done that. I got this strong feeling. I forced myself to do it anyway, talked myself into it, even though I didn't feel like going. And then you have whatever shows you, I should have listened to myself, right? So a lot of times we see it in hindsight. Oh, that was my intuition talking. It'll show up in little synchronous ways. I'll tell you a story. Once I was driving through an intersection. I was coming up late. The light was green. I had the right to go, but I heard intuitively, stop, slow down, And so I let off the accelerator, and sure enough, a bicyclist just went right across me, right? Wasn't paying attention, thought everybody had gone, and was, if I had continued on as the right I had to go, I would have T-boned this bicyclist, right? Traumatizing me, possibly killing this person. Just listening to my intuitive hit, leave off the brake, off the accelerator, I was able to avoid that, right? So my intuition shows up in little ways all the time. Even I'm at the grocery store. What do I feel guided to eat? I'll get a strong sense of foods to pick up, right? All the time, I'll think of someone and they'll call or text, or I'll hear news about someone. These are just little ways that psychic abilities can show up. If you pay attention to them, they grow and develop, just like anything. Like, you can have latent musical artistic abilities if you never pick up an instrument, or if you never pick up paints or something to draw with. You'll never know, right? And so I want to invite you to, every day, in the morning preferably, take a little time to just breathe deeply for a few minutes of nothing else, and ask yourself, what today do I feel guided to do? What am I drawn to do? What would bring me joy? These are all words that are from the intuition. Whereas if you come with, I need to do this, I should do this, if you dive into social media first things, or if you dive into the news, you're liable to just fray out your circuits and not be able to be in touch with your intuition. Really sort of taking your head off, your brain off, is one of the best ways to visualize, like, okay, I'm going to take my head off and just feel, right? That's one of the best ways to get in touch with your intuition. If you want to work with me independently to develop your abilities, that's one of the things I do in private sessions. So I'll put the link again to my website below, listing all my services. I do private readings, diving into astrology, using tarot to channel. I'm an empath, medium, people's loved ones. I'll get past life flashes. I also do past life regressions for folks. Rebirthing, psychic development instruction. I'll come clear your house or business. Got ghost in, we can come deal with those. Those are some of the tricks, house concerts, music, want those? I offer those. So is there anything else I need to say about that? No, just really these are trying times right now. Unfortunately, the astrology is not going to shift much out of that. It's going to continue to be volatile, I see, for a couple of years to come. So we don't have any control over the outside world. What do we have control over? The inside world, right? We can develop during this time of cray-cray in the outer world, an inner world that's indestructibly strong, right? That's what I'm working on. That's what I've been working on. It's been a very positive time for me in terms of growth and personal development. So I invite you to look at it these times in that way as well. What can you do to change your inner world? What can you do to draw out and bring out your own inner Buddha, your own inner Christ self, your own divine self? Listen to that intuition within and let it guide you. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go to doing readings for all 12 signs. Again, this is for sun, moon, rising, and stelliums. I use the Osho Zen Tarot deck if you're curious, and I channel with them. So we're going to start with the Aries. This will be what you need to know for this week. All right, the understanding card is coming for the Aries. So this is having that aha moment. It is having a realization, is getting insight from on high. It can be angels and spirit guides talking to you and revealing. It's feeling like you've got help from the angels. These little birds can represent angels, right? The wings. And so also this bird is coming out of the cage. So there's like moving into greater freedom this week, Aries, coming out of maybe someplace you've blocked yourself or kept yourself stuck or held back. And you're finding the opening, you're finding the way through, you're finding an answer. If you've been questioning something, you get the answer this week. You get the reveal, you see clearly. This is also like celebration. I'm getting just a happy, beautiful energy with this card. And just like it feels like a celebration week, that there's something to celebrate, Aries, this week. And you can go fly free. There's something where you've been enchained or imprisoned and you get to fly free. And again, the insight, the greater sense of spiritual insight and direction. Again, dreams may be super active. You may really literally see angels, spirit guides, or sense their presence in your life, sense that you are not alone, that you've got help. This can show up as physical help as well, like people that are there for you, literally, that may show up and you may say, oh, you're my angel. You just came just at the right time. But you are not alone this week, and you're having some awesome reveals. This feels like a really great week for Aries. All right, Taurus. All right, the politics card, Tauruses. Politician is someone who shows you two different faces, neither one of which are who they really are. So you may be dealing with this in your personal life, someone that's not telling you the truth, someone that's not being truthful. You may be the one that's not being truthful. You may be hiding something, saying, oh, I don't want to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you what I think you want to hear. You may be deciding you're going to run for, this may be like literal. I'm going to get into this world. I'm going to stand up. This world needs my help. I'm going to enter into politics. You may be signing up for someone else who's running for an office and being part of a movement. They may be calling you in a positive way. It's not necessarily a negative card, politics. Also, I'm drawn to this snake looking thing. So it's definitely, be careful, be on the lookout for someone who definitely does not have your best, it doesn't have the best intentions. Let me just put it that way. I'm just seeing this little rattle kind of thing on the snake. It's like you may just see something. Do not overwrite any negative hits that you get on someone else. There's also this, can often look like a colon. There may be, watch what you eat. You may have some like bacterial, there may be something that goes into your tract. You may have some parasites or have eaten something that's funky. So be careful what you put in your mouth this week, Tauruses. Don't want you to get sick. This is a warning. You don't have to go that way. Like if something seems like, how long has that been sitting out? How long has that been in the fridge? Maybe not. Maybe avoid it. I'm also drawn to this blue tie, this blue bow tie for some reason. So there may be an event that you have to put on a face and pretend you're enjoying. It could even be a work event or someone else's wedding or something where you're having to suit up and show up and pretend you're happy for them, and maybe you're not. Maybe you're thinking this marriage will never last, but I'm going to show up and support because you need me there. These are kind of the energies I'm seeing for the Taurus. Let me draw another card since that's not the most positive. We got the Rebel card. This is breaking through. I definitely feel like someone is deciding to get into politics or get in the ring or decide they're going to go, get involved in the women's march that's coming up on October 2nd, or just breaking through chains that have bound you. Like, enough of this. Finding your power, finding how you can make a difference in this world, and taking action to do that. So there's an empowered feeling too. So you can circumvent these political people, the people who are two-faced. You may be breaking out of a relationship where you sense that you're not being told the truth. But this is empowering is the word I'm hearing. This can be a very empowering week just by deciding, getting guided about how to take action, and then deciding to take action. I always recommend getting the guidance first before you take action. As a triple Aries, taking the action first before you feel guided is not the way to do it. Get the guidance and then take action. You'll be good. All right, Gemini. Okay, new vision card for the Gemini. This can literally mean a new home. There's a house here. Someone may be building a new home, moving into a home. There's a new sense of physical health too. This body here is like, again, you may be starting a new health routine, a new diet, exercise program. Also, I'm seeing this figure that's more in the earth too. So you may be been over doing some gardening, just going back into your roots. It feels like too. It's like, what roots are you standing into? I'm also seeing this maybe as cords between other people, and there may be a need to pull out some roots where you're corded to other people. A lot of people talk about cutting cords with other people, like old relationships, cut the cords. I don't advocate cutting cords, because to me it's like cutting off the top of a weed. You can leave part of the cord within, and then you're got the root system. Like if you cut up the top of the weeds and the roots are still in there, those weeds will just grow back. So I advocate, and most cords for relationships anyway are here in your heart. They can be in other places in your body, but here in your heart is one of the main places. I would just imagine loosening it, pulling it out like you pull out a weed, and then offering the cord back and cord up. So if you're feeling corded, someone's haunting you from your past. It could be in your mind too, like it's mental stuff. You keep thinking about them over and over and over again. Pull that weed out of your head and out of your psyche and give it back. Send it up to the universe. Ask for it to be removed. There's also this lovely energy of the night sky. So I'm seeing some lovely energy going on at nighttime. The moon is here too. So this new moon seems like a super powerful time for y'all as well. Initiate that new program with yourself. A new vision is seeing things in a new way. You may have just had something happen where you feel like you've got a new lease on life. You've got a new beginning in some way, Geminis, this week. It feels very exciting, feels liberating, and definitely something to celebrate. Okay, we got the Cancers. You past life cards. All right, Cancers. You may have someone coming into your life that you have known before. Okay, so first off, just because you've known them before and they feel familiar, does that automatically mean, oh, there's my life partner, there's my twin flame, there's my soulmate? Because we incarnate with many people in many different roles over and over again. So someone can feel initially familiar, get to know them in this lifetime first, right? But you may definitely get this jolt of, oh, I know you. Yeah, there's a strong energy around that this week. You're definitely, Cancers, having someone come in. It feels like new, someone new to you that you know. Or you may pick up a book with someone. It may not be a direct connection. You may see them on YouTube or see them, on the news or something. You may just get a hit with someone. So just pay attention to very strong reactions you have to others this week. There's also a decision. It feels like there's sort of a cross on the road. We got lizards wanting to go two different directions. So it feels like there may be a choice or decision. Do I go with this person or this person? Do I go this direction or that direction? Tune into yourself. There's like this infinity energy going on here in this card. So there's an eternal energy. Someone's coming into your life this week that's going to be sticking around, though. And I feel like it is very positive. You're being like the hands of God here. I'm seeing, the divine hands coming in. There's a divine intervention at play here, like helping bring the person to you, helping connect people, helping take you to maybe a new place. Maybe you're doing some travel this week where you're going to be meeting someone new. It just feels like, and it can be more than one person. You could be meeting a group. Oh, this is my place. These are my people. But very strong. And there's a new moon in this card as well. So again, the new moon is I think it's going to be powerful for everybody this week, but definitely Cancers, y'all are ruled by the moon. So when there's a powerful aspect involving the moon, it really affects y'all. But I feel like downloads are happening, clear senses of visions, psychic visions for others. Like if you're wanting to develop your abilities, playing around with tarot cards, this would be a great week to do readings for others and get their feedback, that kind of thing. Because I feel like there's something on the move here, Cancers. Y'all are having a huge growth week. Personally, too, there's a lot of growth happening, a lot of change, positive change. And again, look out for this new person or new people coming in. They definitely have a message of some sort for you. It could be just in passing, right? They could come in and out quickly too. I feel like some of you Cancers are having people come in and staying in, though. You may meet your person this week, or you may identify you're my person this week. So yeah, that's what I'm getting with the Cancers. We'll go to Leos. Celebration. This is a time to have fun this week, Leos. I see this with women. I see this card as like getting together with the girls, having the girls' night out. You may be having the good news coming in. Yeehaw! I've been waiting for that. for men, like when people are in relationships, female who are in straight relationships with men, and this comes up representing them, these are men who are like seeing multiple women, or you can trust it, they're not monogamous. So there's an energy of I want to love everybody as well going on with the Leos. If you're dating, you may have several dates this week. Like it just seems like it's a play week, fun play. Like there's also in the water here. So it's time to just tap into your inner child and play. I'm also getting on a negative note that there's some of you who may have been involved with having been flooded out in these recent recent weather. So I'm hearing the term poison to medicine. So there's something positive coming out of this week from that, like turning poison to medicine, turning the obstacle into a benefit. There's good news coming in, celebration, party. This is definitely the time to hang out with the girls, go out with the girls. If you're, yeah, Women Empowerment Week for Leos. Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of fun. Sometimes too much fun. There's also some Leos who may be drowning their sorrows. I'm seeing the rain and the flooding stuff. You know, there may be some of you that need to maybe not party so much. Maybe you're realizing that you're partying too much and it feels out of balance. In which case, you know, maybe you need to cut back on the alcohol, drink more water, ground yourself in some way. But for the most part, I feel like this is going to be a great week, fun week. Party week. You could be going to a celebration, getting the good news you've been waiting to hear. And like I said, call up your girlfriends. All right, Virgos. Compromise, Virgos. Okay. So this is when you're overriding your intuition. You're saying, okay, I'll do that for you. Or you're in a situation with someone else and you know that you're settling. This is when the information may dawn on you this week. Okay, this is not working for me. It could be a job that's not working for you. It could be a living situation that's not working for you. It could be a friendship in your life that's not working for you. It could be your primary relationship that's not working for you. It can be like, I don't want to talk to my mother anymore. It's not working for me. When things make you feel heavy, when you're constantly questioning yourself, this is coming up. There's some sort of internal questioning. And with the twins here that are, it's like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's very Gemini energy. Of course, Virgos, y'all are ruled by Mercury. So it can have that same kind of being up in the head too much, trying to think things through too much. This card then is like drop into your intuition, take your head off, tune into what feels right. I'm going to draw another card too here. Oh, good. The sun. So wherever you're feeling compromised, there's going to be a breakthrough. You're going to have the aha about how to take action, how to make a shift, how to have the conversation you need to have, feeling inspired. Sometimes the compromise can even be within yourself. It's not even involving another person. And this is like, oh, okay, now I see how I need to look at this or think about this or feel about this. So the light comes on this week, Virgo. You may be having a birthday party this week, and happy birthday to the Virgos. But so the week ends on a positive note for sure. Do not ever override your intuition in any way. So there's a call out this week to pay attention to where you feel like you're overriding yourself in some way. You're doing something that somebody else wants that doesn't resonate as something that works for you. So you don't have to do it. Even if you've already said you would do it, you can say, you know what, on second thought, that's really not going to work for me. And I'm going to have to cancel or whatever. So follow your heart, follow your spirit, follow the light, go to the light, go step away from the darkness and go to the light this week, Virgos. Go where it feels good. It will be good by the end of the week for sure. All righty. And so next we'll have the Libras. experiencing card, Libras. This is really enjoying time alone. You're in like there's a white on the inner side of this cloak. It's like the light within, really having lovely spiritual time. You may be meditating extra, drawn to go outside and experience nature more in its natural place. But this is like a peaceful, contented experiencing a new reveal from the inside out. This is not really dependent on what's coming in on the outside so much, people, places, things. This is like having some aha moments inside, having some lovely experience in meditation. There can be some creative ideas coming up from within. Maybe you're wanting to write things down, you might get inspired to write music or write a book or write in your journal. I'm really getting a strong writing emphasis, definitely going outside and being with nature as much as possible this week, Libras. I feel like there's a super grounding energy. And this energy feels like it's moving into fall. So there may also be plans that you're starting now that will take an effect in the fall, like you're initiating something with a new moon here tomorrow that reaches its full culmination in the fall, but maybe you don't see the effects yet, but you know that you're going to be headed in a direction where you're going to be manifesting what you're looking for come fall. I'm really getting like within 3 months. So something you've been waiting for, wanting, is going to manifest within 3 months. So what's that? We're in September, October, November, December. So by the end of the year, you should be having some sort of heart's desire show up, is what I'm getting for the Libras. But this is the week to set the intention, make the clear vision board, the clear list of what you're wanting in your life. Yeah, a lot of inner work that feels very positive and very tangible to maybe only you, but it's a good one. All right. Now we'll go to the Scorpios. Letting go. You may have lost someone. You might have already let someone or something go. You may be losing weight. You may be grieving. You may have to let someone go this week. You may let something go this week. You may have lost a pet recently. There seems to be a grief. I'm seeing this drop as like a tear. So it feels like there's some grief and sadness. There's also a sense of like, I'm feeling like a heavy sigh. The green is so vibrant here. And so I feel like there's super healing that's happening around loss. And also letting go. Some of you are letting go of something that's held you back, letting go of procrastination, letting go of, like I said, weight. There's a release that ultimately is going to be feeling really good. I'm just getting a sadness and a grief right now this week. And just know that if you are caught up in grief of the loss of someone or something you've loved, this too shall pass. You may get a visit from someone that you've loved in spirit. Nothing completely gets destroyed, right? It still exists in spirit. So if you've lost your pet or lost a loved one, you may feel them in spirit, and that may give you a sense of peace. There's also, I feel like, a need to dive into water, maybe soak in the tub, drink extra water, go swimming, just sit in the hot tub. There's a strong sense of connection with water and healing for you this week, Scorpio. I mean, you're a water sign, so you usually do well in the water anyway, but I'm just feeling that maybe where you need to retreat, standing in the shower, soaking in the tub, being around water is definitely a healing element. Be gentle with yourself this week. It feels like it can be a difficult week if you're going through some heavy emotions. So just be gentle with yourself, right? Know, again, that this too shall pass. You won't always feel this depth of heaviness. There also could be just, you may be sick and just feeling kind of under the weather. Again, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. All righty, Sagittarius. you too have the celebration card. So this is hang with the girls. You got good news coming in. It's time to go outside and celebrate. Go and be around other people. I know it's COVID time, so you may have to do that in a socially distancing way. You may have to turn on the TV to be, or get on the Zoom to be with others if you're not feeling safe enough to be around other people. But this feels like dancing and celebrating and some good news coming in. Just feeling happy. This is a time to be with the girls, hang with the girls. I said this before, the other sign that came up with the celebration card, that I see this often if someone's looking at a relationship, females with straight guys, and this card shows up for them, it can often mean they're not being monogamous. So you may have, if that's part of your question, is my partner being faithful to me? This could be lesbians not being faithful either. This will show up as looks like there's more than one person in their life. But for the most part, this is a positive card representing celebration and good news. So, and a sense of relief. Getting your feet in the water, playful, like childlike spirit. You might need to literally put on the music and dance, and just find the joy. Sometimes if you just force yourself into movement, you feel better. And so I'm getting that too with the Sages, that, you just get yourself out the door and take a walk around the block can be helpful. It feels like someone's being too sedentary, not getting enough movement in. And so turn on the tunes that bring you joy and dance. And maybe you need to soak in the tub, get in the water for a sense of cleansing too. But definitely call your girls, call your girlfriends. All righty, Capricorns. Flowering card. So this is a good week for the Capricorns. These are things blossoming, things moving along. The flowering card is, being the goddess, having a goddess come into your life, getting into literally gardening and flower and, planting flowers, picking flowers, buying flowers for someone you love, buying flowers for yourself. This is projects you've started that are really gaining some traction and growing in beautiful ways. This can be the artist creative ideas that you're just like prolific this week in creating poetry or artwork or music. There's a beautiful juju energy. Again, here the moon is in this card too. So there's a strong emphasis with the moon's energy this week. But this is a good week. Good news, feeling good about yourself, feeling more beautiful. Self-care is paramount this week for the Capricorns. It feels like physically you feel in better health this week. There's green belly here, green dress on. It's like feeling like maybe you're eating healthier. You just feel like you're in a good mood. You have things, you're feeling open. You can snap your fingers and things show up the way you'd like for them to. So this is a positive card for the Capricorns this week. It's a good week. Some good news I'm getting. There's news you've been waiting to hear that comes through. Maybe someone validates you, tells you something really beautiful, that you're really beautiful, or tells you positive compliments. You get positive feedback from a boss. Your partner gushes with the right beautiful words. Your child says, "I love you, mommy." It's just at the right time when you need to hear it. But that's what I'm getting for the Capricorns. All righty, Aquariuses. The stress card for the Aquariuses. Okay, so it's not been such an easy week. Doesn't feel like it's going to be an easy week for the Aquarians. Someone may be nicking at you, or there may be something that's sort of nagging at you that's not quite right. You're juggling lots of balls, not feeling quite yourself. There's 3 legs here up in the air and none of them are on the ground. So you may feel ungrounded and sort of out of your element. I mean, you guys are air signs, so you're used to kind of being up in the air, as it were. But this feels like, yeah, too much going on, not being able to process or digest it all, juggling too many things. Like there's all this light, right? All these candles, so there's the opportunity to have some insights and get some reveals, but it feels like maybe you're just making too much noise. Maybe you're talking to too many people and you just need to quiet down and just kind of be with you. Address this one thing that's creating the most stress here. Put the candles down. You're playing an instrument here. You're trying to do everything at once. You're only one person. Just slow it down. What do you need to do this week? I'm going to draw an extra card too for the, yeah, there's the Buddha card. Chant and meditation. This is going to ground you. This is definitely with what I was seeing. It's like you need to tap into your higher self, because this scene will create heart attacks and strokes, right? And there may be some sort of health crisis that you've been through this last week, Aquarius. It's still kind of nagging on you. Maybe it hadn't completely healed. Maybe you're not completely well. This is about all will be well. This is tapping into your inner Buddha. This is tapping into meditation, chanting, and prayer. This is like the stars at night. There may be dreams revealed. You may get psychic visions this week. If you can quiet your brain enough to get them, right? So this is here waiting for you. It doesn't have to look like this. Your week can look like this, Aquarians. It's your choice, but you have to get yourself into a quiet space in order to get this. If you keep juggling and talking and staying on social media and doing too much, yeah, it's not going to be a good week. If you can center and ground and breathe deeply, it can all work out. All right, there you go. And then last but never least is the Pisces. Okay, I just had a card totally without me shuffling say, yes, this, me. So the aloneness card is coming up for the Pisces. So you may feel alone. You may feel like you're stuck by yourself. This card, however, depicts a spiritual search, right? Which we ultimately always do alone. We have our own connection to the divine. This is the Hermit card in a traditional tarot deck. This is the spiritual seeker. This is some spiritual food for you to find this week, Pisces. The answer is in spiritual practices, spiritual teachings, spiritual direction. Whereas, you could be praying, meditating with a group. You could be in church, in the synagogue, at the temple, at a Buddhist meeting, and be chanting, praying, meditating with others. You're going to be having your own particular direct connection with the divine yourself, right? So even if you're with others, and you may just need to isolate this week, it may be something this is a positive spending time alone. This is not like I don't want to be around others in a negative way. This is like, I choose to be with me, right? This is, I choose to create the space and time for me to connect with my higher self, my higher spirit. So that's what I'm getting for the Pisces this week, that it's really paramount that y'all follow your inner spiritual guide. There's some illumination if you can be still and listen, right? All righty. So that's what I'm getting for all 12 signs. Thank you for your long attention. If you've watched this whole way through, I really appreciate those of you who watch my videos every week. Again, subscribe, share them with your friends. Let me know if I can help you out in a private session. Peace.